Ladies and gentlemen, you know what really pisses you off? Doing a whole faction overview episode and not recording audio. So I'm just going to get right into the post-commentary. So obviously start out here as the Byzantine Empire. And basically what I say is you have these isolated colonies on the sides, and really one of your main focuses is to capture these settlements north of the Danube here. You want to do that before you capture any other settlements, or even this settlement that's sort of included inside your empire in Greece there, because let's say if you capture these and you've immediately got access to the Danube, which is a very profitable region, but most likely that's not going to happen, so you'll be able to take that one settlement south of the Danube. Then, and only then, can you start pushing into Greece, the settlement you got there. Now you want to not worry, ally this settlement, Kiev up here, because they'll probably be pushing all the other settlements. You might be able to capture this on the right flank or this left flank here, but if you do that, you'll immediately have access to the Mediterranean solemnly. The Black Sea. Now, you could eventually, of course, go to war with Kiev, but I wouldn't recommend it straight away. Okay, so let's say this really allows you to have a little jumping platform, because as a Byzantine Empire, when you conquer the Black Sea or any other settlements, because if you go to war with Kiev, you've got this whole area locked down, right? Actually, let's just go ahead and say that you take over Dacia as well, I think it is, after that, when you ally the settlements to the left there. So if you ally them, then you automatically, if you can control them as an ally, if you can tell them to do what you want, then you can have access to these two regions I'm calling you now. I didn't think I was meant to do that. There we go. Now you've got access to the whole Black Sea by yourself, as of course as this rebel settlement in Turkey that you want to take as well. Now, I didn't realize this, but you do start off at war with the Turks, so that's going to really impact your decisions. But I also wanted to say, first of all, you probably want to move some troops from Constantinople north, because you want to ally Kiev here. Probably ally this faction here as well, so that you can, have a more secure northern frontier. And that'll, if you can discuss with them to allow you to take those rebel settlements, maybe that would be really beneficial. And of course, maybe buy off that other settlement like Venice did in the HRE there. So this settlement really should not be a focus that I'm highlighting now. It should really not be a focus until very later on. You want to take north of the Danube ASAP, because if you get these regions first, then and only then can you start focusing in Greece and stuff, because nobody's going to take that. You're really quite secure there, but those two settlements are key north of Danube. You'll probably be able to take this southern one. But like I said, that northern Danube is very essential for you to conquer. Okay, now Egypt here you also want to ally, because maybe you want to push south. Unlike that you will, but let's say you do push south. You'd want to 100% ally Egypt, so that you can let Egypt push east. And then of course, in most campaigns, you want to be focusing, as a Byzantine Empire, you want to be focusing on this east coast rather than the west. So by not focusing on the west, all you got to do is just ally these really strong powers, especially the Moors. You probably want to ally them in every single faction you play. So ally Egypt. Try and get a peace treaty with the Turks, maybe, to let you focus on capturing rebel settlements. Maybe like work out a peace treaty for 10 terms, so you can start getting that northern settlement. But I mean, if you ally Egypt, then you can absolutely sandwich the Turks. You can push them in from all directions. Obviously, you have these jumping pads in the north there from your settlement. You can just reinforce everywhere across the Black Sea, and you've got your reinforcements arriving, and then you can just use this trade route really to support troops from there into the mainland, and of course direct invasion from the west as well as the north and the south. And of course you must use your islands here to attack. Now I'm probably saying that the Crusader states won't last long, so let's just pretend they aren't there. Okay, right, so now we're going to go ahead and show you the footage of the campaign map and how the Byzantine Empire starts. So let's go ahead and show you guys exactly how that works. Okay, so now that we're on the campaign map, obviously you start off with this massive, really nicely detailed Constantinople. Probably what you want to do is, you got your faction leader in here, of course, your emperor. Recruit as many things you can in Constantinople. It's very, very profitable. And of course, actually, don't go to Kaffa just yet. Probably arm your troops onto this ship and then send them to Kaffa to conquer those settlements in the north that I told you earlier, because if you look up here, I'm just doing toggle phone letter command, and it didn't work because it had a capital F. So I do it this time. I'm pretty sure I do it correctly. So let's see, toggle underscore phone. There we go. So obviously you want to take Olesh to the north, which is not too heavily defendable, and of course Azak. If you take those two, you've really got a strong position there. But the worrying thing is Kaffa is not very happy, and it's very small. Now this is extremely worrying. Tumalakaran has an extremely strong force up here in the north, so that's very worrying. So that's why you'll probably want to send reinforcements north, and they did have a watchtower there as well. So changes to Mott and Bailey, it'll probably be quite beneficial for you, and public order will probably go up as well. Okay, so now looking down back to the south, you've got obviously your southern settlements here. Now, like I said, you want to take these northern settlements. So if we go, I'm pretty sure I go Tolgafaro, there we go. You want to take these northern settlements above the Danube. You can, that's annoying me. That's probably annoying you guys too. I switch a lot throughout this. So obviously you want to take Belgrade, Skopje, and Sofia. Those three settlements you want to get a hold of quickly. Now, like I said earlier, don't raise your banners in Jerezzo or Thessalonica. You can do that later. Now, Thessalonica is your absolute capital in Greece. That's going to be where you support your troops. Athens and Corinth, those three settlements is how you're going to push south into Africa if you ever want to. And of course your islands here, from Athens directly into these islands, or from Thessalonica south throughout your kingdom. You can move really quite easily through Thessalonica to, you know, let's say push them south and move them across the sea. This island is going to be key for your launching pad in your invasion against Turkey. And of course your western settlements there are going to be quite useful as well. Turkey right there starts with a worrying big force next to Nikasa. So rather than maybe sending your forces out like I do now, don't do that. Maybe send your forces from Constantinople that you previously sent over to across the Black Sea. Maybe send them to help Nicosia there, or organize a peace treaty, because Adrianople and Constantinople are very easily defended from the north. Okay. So family tree, obviously we have the faction leader, I believe an adopted son. Yeah, I think he's adopted because the faction heir is co-emperor. This guy is age 14, so he's actually co-emperor. That's really good. That boosts his morale and loyalty, so that means he's quite experienced when he will come to power. And yeah, as you see there, we start at war with the Turks. I'm not sure if that's the same in a hot seat, but I think it most likely will be. So recruit up in Turks, and of course recruit up in Kaffa. This way you've got a real launch pad into the south. Now obviously you can also send those forces to Tresbon, because if you take Sinop there, because see all these rebel settlements, Turkey's going to have a hard time taking them because they're all very heavily armoured. Now, you can see they have massive garrisons, so Turkey is quite spread out and vulnerable. So as a Byzantines, you want to either take Kütahya and make sure that Tbilisi doesn't get it. So take Kütahya, take that other settlement on the Black Sea here to the left side, take that, and then you've got the whole access to the Mediterranean, which will be very key for your survival. Okay, so now have a look at the minimap here. So as you see, if you take this settlement on the right here, so Sinop and those other ones, you've got access to the whole of the Black Sea, and you've only solemnly. Now that's very key for trading and more things like that. Okay, so this is a very worrying, prominent army, but that's only their real army. I mean, if you look at the garrisons of these settlements here, they're not too big. You see that, average settlement sizes, but then of course the capital is relatively big. But I mean, they're probably going to try and take Adana, which is going to cost them a lot, and they're going to be fighting south, those Turks. They're going to be really focusing on pushing south in Antioch and more of those religious regions. That's going to be quite a big battlefield. Now, even we could attack Adana here from our launch pad there on that island. Now, the Turks are very spread out. Most of their forces and settlements are in the south, so you're not too worried about that. So starting off at war with them might even be profitable, of course, apart from that Turkish army there. That's quite worrying. Now, of course, you've got an agent here that you could probably use quite wisely. Sorry if I think I hit the mic a couple of times, so apologies about that. But yeah, that's really what you can do as Byzantines. Now let's get straight into the units. Okay, so luckily the Byzantine Empire doesn't have a big region. As you can see, they've only not really got many units here. So we start off with your peasants, which I've just easily skipped over, and then you've got these Akon Sage, which are quite nicely armored. Of course, they're skirmishers along with the next 3 units here. And then you've got your Levy Archers, which you're going to be seeing a ton of in all T's videos. You've got your Akonte, which are basically just an upgraded version of these Akon Stay right there. And of course, they've got some spears as well, so they can fight infantry. And the Toxote skirmishers here are a little bit better equipped than the Levy Archers, so you'll be seeing them a lot as well. Obviously, they have 11 more units as well. Now, getting to the only heavy infantry and infantry unit apart from the spearmen that you have here is the epic and noble heavy infantry, the Castrofe. They've got these bastard short swords, long swords, but they're actually short swords, quite interesting. And they've got short shields and a tinfoil hat, and the short shields help them maneuver quickly. But yeah, so now you've only got 3 remaining units: the heavy cav of your general, just some heavy cav, and skirmisher cav, yes. So these mounted cav are basically an upgrade of I think it was the Akonte or the Akrate skirmisher infantry unit. You can see here, the mounted Akrate. So they're obviously just a mounted version. They'll be really useful for your campaigns. Next up, we have these really heavily horse armored as well. You can see they've got this nice little chainmail hanging from their better equipped tinfoil hats, and of course they're all flying the flame banner. No, the same banner. They're unified, so that's really cool. There's 32 of them, whereas there's only 17 bodyguard units here, but they're just, amazingly decked. Look at this general unit. He looks epic. Of course, they've got the kite shields with the Roman P, which is a Christian symbol introduced by Pompey the Great, if you didn't know. So yeah, they're really looking awesome there, but not too big of a selection, as you can see here in the units. Of course, I can't stress enough that we're playing stainless steel early era. And guys, personally, I just want to say thank you guys for watching so much. If you're interested in this, you're probably watching a lot of my other faction overviews, and I really appreciate that. Oh, look at that volley though. Yeah, but my channel's, you guys have been really awesome lately. It's not necessarily just blown up. It's doing quite well though, and that's really thanks to you guys. So just enjoy this final couple of charges in. Really great mod stainless steel. It's really more than exceptional. Now these guys are going to get demolished. Yeah, the enemy general's dead. So I really want to thank you guys so much. I can't thank you enough. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and of course enjoy the outro as always. Peace, guys.